United Airlines screwed up, a giraffe gave birth, and holy moly, thank God the Unicorn Frappucino is finally ended. This is Internews. Hello and welcome to the final episode of Internews this season. I'm your host, Kate Bell, and boy do we have a show for you today. Remember your little Tamagotchi egg-shaped electronic pets? Yeah, they were my children. I mean, except when they reincarnated into those annoying skinny versions. But the ninja pets are definitely the pets. Can you imagine having a ninja as a pet? That would be the best. I even named my little Tamagotchi critter and took care of them more than I took care of my own living pets. These Tamagotchi pets were my life. I constantly played and fed them, but alas, we grew up and moved on and the Tamagotchis disappeared. But fear not, because in honor of their 20th anniversary, the original Tamagotchis are going to be re-released. Our favorite childhood toy that taught us responsibility is finally on the market. The only difference of the re-released Tamagotchis is that they're smaller. That's it. Everything else is exactly blissfully the same. However, the smaller OGs are only available in Japan, but don't worry, Amazon Japan has totally got you because you can purchase your little Tamagotchi online for only $17.36. Good luck with your little ninja pets. And now while you can't eat your Tamagotchi, you know what you can eat? Bacon. Don't we all just love that sweet bacon smell, that sweet taste of bacon, the sight of sizzling bacon, all the juiciness and crispiness of sweet, glorious bacon? Ugh. My mouth is already watering just talking about it. Everyone loves bacon and Burger King definitely gets it. Last April 12th, Burger King released a bacon feast, a whole new menu dedicated to our favorite breakfast meat. The bacon-themed menu includes 3 different burgers that look tasty AF. Each burger patty is coated with baconaise, and while I'm not exactly sure what that is, it seems like a delicious mayo sauce that tastes just like bacon. Literally the dream. The burgers include the Bacon Double Cheese XL, ugh, the bigger the better, the Smoky Baconaise Angus, quality meat with baconaise, yes please, and the Smoky Baconaise Tender Crisp. That just sounds like a wonderful foodgasm. But wait, there's definitely more bacon goodness. Get a side of bacon cheese bites for the finale. Yes, bite-sized bacon bites, definitely a go-to for me. With all this bacon goodness, it saddens me to tell you that this bacon menu is only available for a limited time in the UK. Damn you Brits! Why do you always get the good stuff? Let's just cross our fingers and pray to the bacon gods to bless this bacon-themed menu to us Americans. We need bacon now! But let's put aside the bacon for now, because I want to talk La La Land. So yes, I'm a little sad that La La Land didn't win the Academy Award for Best Picture this year. But you know what? I'll get over it, especially with the fact that someone reenacted parts of La La Land in order to ask Emma Stone to come to prom with me. I am a huge sucker for these celebrity promposals, and I just love how ingenious they can be. Yes, it's not the greatest in the world, but you know what? Props. My hat goes off to you, Jacob Stoudemire. I honestly wish I had thought of that before. Hey, and guess what? You got a letter from Emma Stone, which is more than I can personally say. And also the fact that she commented on how you kind of look like Ryan Gosling as well. So good job and good work on just another day of sun. But now let's shove Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone aside, because there's a bigger celebrity the internet's been obsessed with recently. This April, the internet has been obsessed with April. Besides being a rainy month full of stress and exams, April is a giraffe living in the Animal Adventure Park in Harpersville, New York. She became an internet superstar when the park began live streaming her pregnancy. And what started out as Facebook spam from your middle-aged aunt became a viral phenomenon as the world eagerly awaited April's birth. At one point, the stream was taken down after being reported for sexual content and nudity. It's a shame not even wild animals can escape the sexualization of the beautiful and natural process of life. Before you know it, April will be nursing her calf in a restroom stall. Luckily, the stream was up again before the main event. On April 15th, after 15 months of pregnancy, you heard me, April's baby came into the world with a plop, plummeting 6 feet and landing face first. Laugh all you want. But just know that while this giraffe was walking within an hour, it took you a month to hold up your own oversized brain cavity. And as a reward for our patience, the park is letting the internet decide what to name the baby. The top 10 names suggested include Apollo, Unity, and the ever-original Patches. Whatever his name ends up being, we hope this little giraffe doesn't give April too much trouble, because you know how those child stars can be. Now let's head to Kim for all the latest TV trailer buzz that's been happening over the last few weeks. Take it away, Kim.
Thanks, Kate. So let's get down to it, guys. Last weekend was Star Wars Celebration, pretty much the biggest convention dedicated solely to Star Wars and even sponsored by Disney and Lucasfilm themselves. And this year there was no shortage of Star Wars content, from the new Star Wars Battlefront 2 game coming out later this year, and the release of the Season 4 trailer of Star Wars Rebels, and the announcement of that Ahsoka lives. But probably the most important thing is the release of The Last Jedi teaser that all of us have been waiting so desperately for. And boy, does it look like we're in for a treat. Rey is in training with Luke, Finn is still hospitalized, and of course, more space battles, because Star Wars, why not? But I'm getting some serious Episode 5 flashbacks right now, just because of how the plot seems to be going and the darker tone that I think that The Last Jedi is taking. If you haven't seen it yet, just watch it again and again and again. It's amazing. And on the topic of other movie trailers, the Marvel Cinematic Universe gave us another glimpse into a film releasing in November of this year, Thor Ragnarok. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been pretty skeptical of Thor movies even since they've come out. It took me quite a bit to see both the first Thor movie and The Dark World. But of course, since I'm a Marvel fanatic, there was no way that I was going to pass up the opportunity to watch another Marvel movie, let alone a trailer, when James Gunn said earlier this year that the Thor Ragnarok trailer was the best trailer in the MCU. I got even more skeptical. But enough of my ranting. I watched it and holy shit. Excuse my language, but what? First off, finally the immigrant song is being used properly in a movie trailer for once. It just makes sense with the Norse mythology. And in the song. Second, Hela just grabs Mjolnir and just crushes it into bits and pieces. Do you ever just grab someone's baby and just crush it with your hands? I didn't think so. But wow, does that provide for a gut-wrenching and heartbreaking moment for sure for Thor. Also, Loki's back, and wow, is that slow motion toss of his 2 daggers really cool and sick. Jeff Goldblum is just Jeff Goldblum, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But of course, the best part of the entire trailer came at the very end. And let me be the first to tell you, yes, we finally have a rematch between the Hulk and Thor. And honestly, that was the moment that I completely bought into the idea of Ragnarok. I was grinning from ear to ear when Thor just said that he's a friend from work. The first thing that I thought about was the special feature where Thor wasn't invited to Tony and Steve's Civil War Showdown Throwdown, and just how he was spending time with Daryl. But real questions here, is Daryl in Ragnarok? But back to the trailer, I don't think that I've ever been so excited to see a Marvel movie before now, especially with the fact that Thor has always just kind of been there in the past few movies. Honestly, the only importance that I've really taken out of the 2 previous Thor movies is the Aether is being shown in the Dark World for the first time. Other than that, it has just tried and kind of failed to be funny, as with almost every single Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, until Guardians of the Galaxy, which is something that I think Ragnarok is taking a strain from in order to rejuvenate life back into Thor in preparation for Infinity War. And my oh my, does Infinity War look really good. But thanks again, Marvel. Thanks again for taking all of my money. But trailers aren't the only thing premiering these days. Kids, do you remember the good old days of 3rd to 5th grade where your science class would be halted by the teacher regarding it and then dragging in a TV on a TV stand? And you got to watch your favorite teacher, Bill Nye? Well, the science guy is back on Netflix, this time with a new show. Bill Nye saves the world because our world is in desperate need of saving. Our political climate is so divided that anti-scientific claims are used to refute actual huge issues like climate change and alternative medication. But we can all be united under one thing: childhood nostalgia and pretending you're a scientist. Bill Nye's new show is targeted towards adults this time, especially those who've grown up with the show. He discusses issues like climate change, sexuality, GMOs, space travel, and more in an attempt to reconcile with people who turn the other way in favor of fossil fuels, homophobia, and homeopathy. Not only that, but Bill Nye has a sick new theme by Tyler, the Creator. Seriously, I could listen to it for 5 hours. Childhood nostalgia is fantastic. So is like making sure our planet doesn't burst into flames, but mainly childhood memories. Well, that's all I have. So while I slowly simmer myself in a giant pot of childhood nostalgia, let's toss it back to Kate.
Thanks, Kim. And now let's wrap up with a discussion of some of the biggest marketing and business blunders we've seen all over the internet recently, because as I'm sure you heard, there's been quite a few. United Airlines isn't doing too well recently. I'm sure if you've been on Facebook, Twitter, or even Christian Mingle, you've seen this crazy video. In the video, David Dow, a 69-year-old Kentucky physician, was literally dragged off of a United Airlines flight. Here's how it all went down. Apparently, the flight was overbooked and attendants asked a few customers to get off the plane. Dow refused and authorities were called, and when they arrived at his seat, he continued to refuse to get up. This led the authorities to literally drag him out of his seat and off of the plane. It was so forceful that Dow started bleeding. The internet responded to this with a WTF United Airlines, and the United Airlines CEO Oscar Munoz responded to this internet criticism by standing by his decision. He called Dow disruptive and belligerent. Yikes, don't you mean your employees? Then the internet responded with an even bigger WTF United Airlines. After the airline started to lose money, Munoz changed his mind and gave a half-hearted apology. Go capitalism! Dow is in the process of a lawsuit against the airline and the city of Chicago. Munoz said he has received a lot of support from United's high-end customers, although obviously a lot of people have ideas and thoughts about how we can make things better. Yeah, maybe not forcing people off your planes until they draw blood. Just an idea. In addition to this, about a week later, United Airlines kicked a couple off the plane on the way to their wedding. They're thinking about changing their motto to United Airlines, where the customer is always wrong. Now, okay, look, I know this happened a while ago, but guys, that Pepsi commercial. Are the Pepsi commercial organizers tone deaf? Because they definitely missed the mark of projecting a global message of unity, peace, and understanding. This is the cringiest ad I've ever seen. First of all, some pretty attractive young people are apparently protesting to, I don't even know. All the signs just say join the conversation. So what the hell are they even protesting about? I mean, are they even protesting? It looked like a fucking festival to me. Literally everyone was just smiling, laughing, clapping, hugging, and high-fiving. Pepsi, in case you didn't know, people are pushed around, incarcerated, and even being killed in protests. People don't protest for fun. They protest to make a change and make their voices heard. They're here for serious business, not happy music, dancing, and laughter. So here's 3 major lessons we can learn from this ad. Well, mostly Pepsi commercial organizers. Lesson number 1, if you're standing up for a serious issue, pick a spokesperson who's already involved. Why was Kendall Jenner there even in the first place? Oh, she just happened to be modeling around and wanted to join the conversation. Why didn't they choose John Legend, who's actually talking about these issues? They literally just chose Kendall Jenner because she's pretty. I mean, does she even really care about these protest issues? Lesson number 2. If you're trying to break down cultural divisions, showing diversity stereotypically is not gonna work. Oh yeah, bring in an Asian guy, but wait, just so you know he's Asian, we'll make him play the cello. Let's bring in some racial acceptance by showing some black street dancers. Oh, and let's show religious tolerance by showing a girl in a hijab. Pepsi, you're not breaking down cultural divisions, you're reinforcing them. And lesson number 3. Brands should not be the best supporting actor, not the hero. Literally, Pepsi's products were right front and center in my face this whole commercial. Pepsi was basically the main event. That climactic shot of Kendall Jenner approaching a police officer, offering him a Pepsi, and the officer accepting the drink was really mind-blowing. Yes, Pepsi saves lives, Pepsi stops wars, and Pepsi saves the world. I mean, that whole scene was basically a copy of what Aisha Evans did. She's a black woman who stood firm while being charged by riot police during a protest against police brutality. Aisha didn't stand there to make peace with the police. She was being defiant. She was brave and resisting the officers. She wasn't just smiling so sweetly to a police officer and offering them a Pepsi. She was taking a stand and was jailed right after. Pepsi brands are here to support us and not the other way around. Sure, show the world that giving a Pepsi will solve everything, when literally black people are shot for existing. But hey, at least Pepsi apologized. The company said, clearly we missed the mark and apologize. We did not intend to make light of any serious issue. Yep, you definitely missed the mark there and didn't send a message of unity, peace, or understanding. Take these lessons with you, Pepsi. You're gonna need it. And speaking of companies, let's talk Starbucks. If you've been on Instagram in the last 2 weeks, you've probably seen this bright pink monstrosity of a beverage. The Unicorn Frappucino, as Starbucks described the drink, is made with a sweet dusting of pink powder and blended into a cream frappuccino with mango syrup and layered with a pleasantly soul blue powdered topping, and was made to be Instagrammed. And though this drink came as a godsend to unicorn lovers, self-proclaimed basic bitches, and anyone under the age of 16, some were not too thrilled with the unicorn beverage. In fact, the Unicorn Frappuccino got pretty polarizing feedback on the internet. You either loved it with all of your sparkling heart and posted 10 pictures of it on every social media platform you have, or you hated it with the bright red passion of 1,000 burning suns. And if you're as confused as to who hated it or why they hated it, you're in luck, because here at Internews we've compiled a list of the Unicorn Frappuccino's top 5 biggest haters. Number 5, Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert went on his show and hate-tasted the frap before he took a sip. He claimed the drink was the color of a tumor. Yum. After the drink was on his lips for what couldn't have been more than a millisecond, he declared, "I wish I was dead." If going on nationally broadcasted TV shows and declaring your hate doesn't make the cut for this list, I don't know what does. Number 4, nutritionists. Evidently, a drink that changes color and flavor when you sip it isn't very good for you. Go figure. Yes, indeed, health nuts around the world shunned the drink due to its horrifying nutritional facts. A grande, or a medium for those who use normal words, is 140 calories and 59 grams of sugar. 59 grams of sugar! What? Just to put that into perspective, that's more than 2 Hershey's chocolate bars, 3.5 Twinkies, and more sugar than is in more servings of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. That's 1.5 times the recommended amount of daily sugar for your body in a day. No wonder nutritionists hated the drink so much. I knew that color-changing goop had to come at a price. The secret ingredient was just clogged arteries all along. Number 3, Harry Potter fans. What? Did you say Harry Potter fans? Yes, indeed, we did. Well, this was kind of a joke, but the internet users took it pretty seriously. When the idea for the Unicorn Frap was being released, some Potter fans noticed a connection between the best-selling book series and the Frap. Quoting from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone for you true fans, bookworms posted the meme, "Do all these people drinking the new Starbucks Unicorn Frap realize that they will have but a half-life, a cursed life, from the moment the drink touches their lips? I hope it's worth it." Some Potter fans tried the drink and acknowledged that the taste was not nearly worth the cursed life, but damn was it worth the Instagram. Number 2, Anthony Bourdain. This is another seemingly random hatred, but man oh man was it a strong-ass hatred. According to an interview with Town & Country, Anthony Bourdain detests the Starbucks Unicorn Frappuccino. He claims that it's like 4 things I hate all in one sentence: Starbucks, unicorns, and the colors pink and purple. I mean, Anthony, I get your beef with Starbucks and colors, but unicorns, what did they ever do to you? He could have just commented on the taste, and that would have been enough of a reason. If you ask me, I suspect there's some fragile masculinity at play here. And number 1. Coming in at number 1, the hater of the Starbucks Frappuccino is baristas. Of course it is. Starbucks baristas are already notorious for getting pissy when you order a drink with something extra or off the secret menu. A Frappuccino with extra steps and colors is a literal recipe for disaster. Some baristas hated the drink so much they channeled their rage onto social media platforms. One user posted a picture of their hand stained by the unicorn blood, and another referred to the drink as poison. Some just posted pictures of dead unicorns to symbolize what they wanted to do to the drink. But no matter what, if you ordered a Unicorn Frappuccino, you probably pissed a barista off. And if you're like me and you had to order it with soy milk because you can't digest dairy, well, it's safe to say a barista probably spit in it. I don't care though, I Instagrammed the shit out of that magical beverage. Luckily for these haters, the drink was only available until April 23rd. So if you didn't get the chance to try it, you're out of luck. Oh, wait. I'm getting a message here. Getting word that there's a new Starbucks Unicorn Lemonade available. Sorry, guys. Well, that's all we have for you today, guys. It's been a blast. But don't worry, we'll be back for another season in just a few months. And maybe in the meantime, you can binge all of our previous episodes. Wink, wink. Thanks for watching.